now we're going to move forward and talk a little bit about nutrition. So rather than calling it nutrition, we're calling it healthy choices because we want to make sure, just as a disclaimer, that today we're not promoting any sort of dieting of any kind as well as calorie counting. We always want you to know that today is about making healthy choices rather than not eating. So remember, it is always best to eat no matter what you're eating than to not eat at all. Okay, so first we're just going to start out with a little game called This or That. So I'm going to show you two options of food, and I'm just going to have you raise your hand for which option you think is healthier. Okay, so who thinks the Quaker Chewy granola bars is healthier than the Quaker maple and brown sugar oatmeal? Okay, so who thinks the granola bar? Okay, and who thinks the oatmeal? Okay, just keep that in your mind. We're going to keep going over them, and then we'll go over them again at the end. Okay, so who thinks a bottle of Coke or a Snickers bar? So who thinks the Coke?
Nope.
Okay, who thinks the Snickers bar? Okay, that one was pretty unanimous. Okay, and then these are both from Wendy's. We have a grilled chicken wrap, or we have a spicy chicken Caesar salad. So who thinks the wrap? And who thinks the chicken salad? Okay, so just remember those and we'll go over them at the end. So in 2016, the FDA, or the Food and Drug Administration, mandated changes that all producers of any type of food has to make these changes to their food label. So the first being that the serving size has to be larger and bolder size font. The second being that the serving size has to be updated, so it has to include grams as well as kitchen measurements like cups or teaspoons. And then calories also have to be in larger font, so it's easier, draws your eye to it right away. Updated daily values and footnotes, and then also they have to now, they have to be mandated to report added sugars of any kind on the label. Okay, so like I said before, we're not promoting calorie counting, but it is important to know what calories are. So calories are needed to supply your body with the energy that it needs to function day to day. It's kind of an umbrella term that encompasses carbohydrates, fats, and protein supplied all in one serving. So with calories, it's really important that balance is key here because calories are what give your body energy for basic metabolic processes. So what that means is like your body needs energy and your body gets this energy from food sources. So it's really important that you get energy from the food. Another big thing to remember is all food labels are based on a 2,000 calorie diet. So what that means is basic metabolic processes for adult male and female basically requires 2,000 calories for your body to function at an adequate level. But since you guys are still in high school and even us still being in college, we need more than 2,000 calories per day to function adequately. And that is not including if you guys are in sports or physical activity. So even if you're physically active, you're going to need more calories than just 2,000. So that's why we really want to stress that it's really important not to count calories, but to look at overall nutrient content instead. Okay, so daily values is how much of a nutrient is in one serving. So that's kind of the weird percentages that are on the right side of the food label, and those are based on the 2,000 calorie diet. So according to the FDA, 5% of a daily value or less of a nutrient is considered low. So what you want to keep low is all your trans fats, saturated fats, cholesterol, sodium, anything like that you want to keep relatively low. What you want to get more of, 20% more of a nutrient is considered high, so your fiber, your vitamins, your calcium, your iron, anything that your body needs to function that is natural, we want more of in your diet.
Okay, so for proteins, each gram of protein that you consume contains 4 calories. And proteins are very important to the cells of our body. They help to repair and build our cells and to make up our body tissues. And you can see here they are a very important part of our skin, hair, nails, our muscles, our bones, even our internal organs and body fluids. And some good sources of protein to keep in mind in your diet are beans, dairy products, eggs, vegetables, meat, nuts and seeds, and seafood. And I think this is really important to kind of keep in mind because a lot of people seem to think that the only way to get a good amount of protein in your diet is to just consume a lot of meat. And that is not always something that everyone enjoys. And when you consume a lot of meat, it's important sources of protein that you might really enjoy and are a good way to make sure that you're meeting those values. And also, I wanted to add, if you're basing your diet off of the typical 2,000 calorie diet, 50 grams of protein would be the goal then.
All right, so I'm going to talk about carbohydrates for you, and we're going to start with the starches and sugars, which are the most important carbohydrates in a human diet. So these are broken down into glucose, and glucose is the primary energy source for the body. Now you can also use fat, but fat is also more of a reserve for energy. Typically the body will go to glucose for its main energy source. You also need fiber, as fiber is going to promote digestive health. It's going to slow that digestion, and what that's going to do is going to make you feel more full. This is going to really help limit those portion sizes, because carbs tend to get broken down very easily, and if you don't have a lot of fiber in them, you're going to keep eating hungry, and you're going to eat more and more, which is just going to up your calories. So I just have some example of carbohydrates, obviously your fruits and vegetables, and it's very important with your fruits, like with an apple, you eat it with the skin, so make sure you eat the skin with your apple. It's a very good source of fiber, so you want to make sure you incorporate that in your diet. And then you also have nuts and seeds, very good source of carbs, just like protein. You have your whole grains, your beans, and your peas as well. Also, remember that Gatorade, chips, baked goods, cookies, those are all loaded with carbs, but those tend to have very high sugar amounts. So, like I said, sugar is necessary for adequate function, but you have different sugars. You have natural, you have added. So natural comes typically from milk, fruit, grains, even vegetables have sugars. And these are the ones that you tend to want to eat more of. But then you have the added sugars coming from like candy, pop, your baked goods. These added sugars tend to be worse for your health. And what happens is, if you start over-consuming this is what's going to lead to obesity and diabetes, and I'll be getting to that to the next slide. So this is the recommended intake in a 2,000 calorie diet before added sugars. It's about 25 grams for women and 38 grams for men. And this contains about 6 sugar packets or 10 sugar packets respectively for each. So those were the recommended daily values. This is on average how much the average American eats a day, about 91 grams of added sugar a day. That's equivalent to about 23 sugar packets, as shown right here. So imagine incorporating all this into your diet every single day, and every American does that on average. And so the risk with this is this can lead to obesity and diabetes. When you overconsume sugar, what's going to happen is your body's going to be pumping a lot of insulin to help get that sugar into the cells for energy. As your body keeps overproducing insulin and keeps doing it over and over extended period of time, this can lead to insulin resistance, and that is what diabetes is. It can also lead to higher weight gain, which leads to obesity, and obesity leads to conditions like diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease. It leads to a plethora of chronic conditions. And most of the time, these are caused by that lifestyle choice of nutrition, lack of exercise. So often, it just results to reverse that, just changing those lifestyle choices. So by a show of hands, how many drink pop? How many drink it, would you say, once a day? Or maybe half of the week. All right, so how many sugar packets, I'm going to ask how many sugar packets you think is in Coke? How many think it's about 5 or less? Good. How many think 10 or less? How about 15 or less? How about more than 15? So good. There's actually 16 of these in just this one bottle of Coke, which equates to about 65 grams of sugar, and it's all added sugar. That's already double what the normal intake should be for women and almost double for what men should take. And like I said, this is going to lead to that. If you do this over an extended period of time, this is what's going to lead to those conditions like diabetes and lead to that insulin resistance that leads to those chronic conditions that can be very debilitating.
Okay, so fats are a secondary source of energy for our bodies. So after the body has used up calories from carbohydrates, then fats are the next in line. And fats are also very important to our growth and development. They have a huge component of our, it's a huge role in our cell membranes and our nervous system function, our immune responses, protecting our internal organs and regulating our temperatures as well. And for adolescents, 25 to 35% of your daily calories should come from fat. And that is an appropriate amount to make sure that you you want to avoid. And those are what come from the hydrogenated oils that you've probably heard of. Those are big in what you eat at a fast food restaurant, fried foods, the really processed baked goods, things like that are really high in trans fats. And trans fats actually have no health benefits whatsoever. So they actually just contribute to our LDL cholesterol levels, which are known as our bad cholesterol. And those accumulate as plaques in our blood vessels and lead to coronary artery disease later in life. And also put us at risk for diabetes and things like that later down the line. And then our good fats are our monounsaturated and our polyunsaturated that you want to focus on. So those come from olive oil, avocados, salmon, lots of different kinds of fish, and also nuts are a good source. And polyunsaturated fats are actually considered to be essential fats. So those are essential for our bodies to function properly, but they are only brought in through our diet. Our body cannot make them on our own, so we have to make sure to incorporate those in our diet.
Yeah. So back to the this or that game. So those of you who thought the maple and brown sugar oatmeal was healthier is actually correct. So that is because, well, both are not bad breakfast options. Just being in school all day, the oatmeal is going to hold you off longer to get you through lunch and keep you fuller longer, whereas the granola bar you probably need to eat, I need to eat at least like 3 before it fills me up. So it's just a better way to stay full longer until that can get you through to lunch.
All right, so those of you that chose a Snickers bar, good choice. Coke is full of sugar. Now, actually, Coke does have 10 calories less than the Snickers bar, but the Snickers bar has about 27 grams of sugar compared to the 65 grams just in that Coke. So if you do want to treat yourself to that added sugar, Snickers bar would be a better choice than just that Coke. And again, remember, it's not about just completely cutting out added sugar in your diet. You're allowed to treat yourself to that every once in a while. It's just meeting that recommended dietary intake for added sugar.
And in this choice, the grilled chicken wrap is actually the better option. It actually only has 10 grams of fat as opposed to the salad that has 42 grams of fat. And the chicken wrap only has 640 milligrams of sodium, whereas the salad has 1,680 milligrams of sodium. So I know that you would probably be more likely to pick the salad, but there's a lot of hidden fat and sodium that you wouldn't really expect. Okay, and then we made a list of some healthy eating tips that we thought would be a good takeaway for you guys today. So the first one is to kind of vary your meals from day to day. Try to explore new things and figure out what you like. I think that you are more likely to enjoy healthy eating when you let yourself try new things and just figure out what is good. Also, I think you are more likely to meet all of your nutrition requirements when you kind of step out of the box and try new things rather than sticking to the same routine every day. Another one is to keep healthy snacks on hand. I know you guys have long and busy days, so it's a good idea to maybe pack a piece of fruit or some nuts in your backpack for a snack in between classes so that you can avoid reaching for like the chips or the candy bar and things like that. Also a good idea is to replace sweet treats with some things like dried fruits or like hummus and veggies are also a good snack that I think you guys would enjoy and are good to keep you going throughout the day. Another one is don't skip meals. Whatever you do, you guys are very busy, you have a whole school day to put in, and then whatever activities you do outside of school, any sports or activities like clubs or if you have a job, things like that, you need to make sure that your body has enough energy to get through the day and to perform well. So whatever you do, it's always better to feed your body than to not. So just make sure that you are meeting those requirements and you can have enough energy to get through your day. And another one is don't be afraid to incorporate vitamins and supplements into your diet. If you feel like you aren't meeting your nutrition requirements, you can always start taking a multivitamin, especially around this time of the year to help yourself to stay healthy and avoid getting any illnesses. And then lastly, remember you can always reward yourself. If there is something that you really enjoy, say it's ice cream for example, that isn't something that you can eat on a daily basis, it doesn't mean you have to cut it out completely, but rather to use it more as a treat for making healthy choices and to maintaining a good healthy diet. You can always use that in moderation to enjoy.